So once again, welcome to Unveil Tales. This particular tale is sponsored by Ninja Eyes. So today I'll be talking about a very interesting story, a real life story that has to do with the hijacking of the Air France 139. So in 1969, the Air France was hijacked. The world was on a standstill, trusted with cold and shiver, when a normal routine flight from Tel Aviv to France was hijacked by two armed men who were members of the movement of the Palestine. Passengers, unaware of what was going on, became suddenly horrified when the plane veered off course into the stricken war zone of Uganda, where the dictator himself, Idi Amin, was awaiting the arrival of the plane. The demands of the hijackers were simple: release 40 Palestinians imprisoned in Israel, or they bomb the entire plane and 248 lives will be lost. Israel, in a state of panic, didn't know what to do, but we all know that Israel is not a country that surrenders to fear. The lives of the hostages were the most ultimate goal for the Israel government. Now, the demand, like I said, from these two armed hijackers were very simple. It's either you release 40 armed or 40 Palestinians, or you lose 248 lives. Now, Israel, known to be a country without fear, had its other plans, of course, where they trained secretly men who were called the Commandos, simply called the Sayeret Matkal Commandos. These guys were secret, not known to the world, but Israel had its precision and determination to save the lives of 248 hostages that were being held captive by these two armed hijackers. In no time, the plane landed in Entebbe in Uganda, where Idi Amin and his entourage of military were waiting for them to drop. It was not easy, it was a fierce battle, but of course, Israel were determined to ensure that they saved the lives of these hostages. Of course, definitely, the hostages were separated, there at the terminal, where they knew that their fate depended on the ideologies of these wicked hijackers. And of course, they know that this was a politics that was being played half across the world. And the hostages became weaker and weaker, but they were still determined, some holding to a little thread of hope, believing that a miracle would happen and they would be released to meet their families. So, in the summer of 1969, without any remorse, without any discourse, the Commandos with parachutes landed into the airport in Uganda, hidden with their well-smarted, calculated move, each step calculated as if any error will lead to the ultimate fatal destruction of the lives of these people. So every step was calculated. Remember, these commandos were well trained for virtually impossible missions. So they were always ready to face such challenges even at the shortest period of time, knowing fully well that the lives of these 248 passengers or hostages was their ultimate goal. In no time, they engaged in a first gun battle with these two hostages or armed hijackers, and it was a give and give take. The military of the Uganda military personnel stood still as these commandos calculated every move to ensure that the lives were saved. But of course, with every calculated move, with every training that were acquired, 3 lives were definitely lost at that gun battle. But of course, we all know that they were able to neutralize these hijackers, and the lives of 246 passengers were saved. In the eyes of the world, it was one of the most successful ever carried out mission that could have destroyed or saved the life of these hostages. And of course, Israel, known for its fairness, knew that only one thing was at stake. It's either they fail or they win. But if they fail, it could be recorded as a hijacked situation where passengers lost their lives. But if it was a win, then the world will know that Israel was at the top front when it comes to rescue missions, and of course acknowledge the fact that they were also once a world power, holding into how deep and how strong their military personnel were ready and able to calculate every move. The hostages were free. Most of them returned back home. Most of them still had these bittersweet experiences. Some had the post-trauma of the hijack. Others were in a state whereby they could not really understand what had happened at that point in time, but obviously were happy to have gone back to their countries and to meet with their families. So this was a momentum that, even in the face of unimaginable terror, the world still had the strength to fight back. Thank you once again. This has come to the end of today's Unveilful, powered by Naija Eyes. Please like, follow us on our social media handles, and subscribe to our YouTube channel to get more of untold stories. Bye for now.